Hey guys, for today's video I am doing a foundation first impression on the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and it says it is healthy luminous makeup with don't know how to say that, some kind of lotion. It has SPF 20 and I have it in the shade N1-2, so it's supposed to be neutral. So on the back of it, it says True Match Lumi illuminates, unifies, and improves the look of the skin for a healthy looking complexion, and it has vitamins C and E in it. So I'm just going to look up online and see if there are any more claims. Okay, so it says it's 40% pure water for all day hydration, antioxidants, vitamins C and E for improved clarity and skin tone, liquid light technology for an instant luminous glow. Isn't it time you met your match? Why, yes it is. Hashtag single AF. Anyways, so those are all the claims I have found in terms of wear. We shall find out throughout the rest of the day. Anyways, if you want to get my full opinion on this, see how it applies, blend it out, coverage, all that kind of stuff, you're in the right place. Just keep on watching. Okay, so let's get started with this first impression. Like I said, today I'm going to be doing a first impression on the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation. And I have it in the shade... oh, it's on the top. I have it in the shade Neutral 1-2. I have never used any of the L'Oreal foundations aside from the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion, but that one had like a very narrow shade range, at least at all the stores in my area. They were all like W something, so they're all warm undertoned, and they look super orange on me, so that did not work for me whatsoever. I liked the actual foundation and the finish, but the color made me look so orange, and then you get that like weird orange line. So anyways, I'm gonna try this one out today. So for primer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Baby Skin. It's just a pore filling primer. So I feel like usually illuminating foundations or like highlighters will show any texture that you have and like make it more pronounced, and so I feel like a pore filling primer will kind of help smooth the skin. So I'm just going to take a small amount and then put it on the areas of my face that I need some help with my pores. Going to pump out a little bit of the foundation onto my palette. Start with that amount. So that was like the first pump, because it's a brand new product, it was only like a very little bit, but it's basically just a pump and a bit. And I'd just say it's not as runny as I thought it would be. Like, I thought it would be completely running down if I held it up like that, but it's a little bit thicker than I thought. A good or bad thing, it doesn't really matter, just not what I was expecting. So I'm just going to dot it on my face and then blend it in with my beauty blender. The only time I opened this was just to swatch it. That was a while ago, so hopefully this still matches all right. Okay, so that one layer to me looks like very light coverage. I mean, I did notice as I was dotting it on, there wasn't as much product as I would usually use with some of my other liquid foundations, like the Revlon Color Stay or my Too Faced Born This Way, or any of those ones that I usually pump out and dot on my face. I noticed that this pump wasn't the same amount of product, but it also gave me like super light coverage. The color is also not a perfect match. It is a little bit dark, so I'll have to bring it down my neck a bit, but I'm going to go in with another pump and see what that gives us, if you can build this up at all. Maybe the issue is that a pump, so that's a pump. The pump is very short. It seems like it's a very small amount. Okay, so 2 pumps on there, and we'll see if this builds up to any extra coverage. I mean, I am liking the finish right now. The finish, it is not making me look like a greased chicken, but it is giving me like a nice glow, which is kind of what I was going for. For those of you who don't know, I have normal to dry skin, so we'll just see again if it will build up. So it definitely built up and it blended out pretty well. Still pretty light coverage. Like all of my redness is still showing through, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, I can cover it up with concealer obviously, but that's not ideal. I'm just going to turn on a light on the side to see if that'll help. So that adds a little bit more light in here. So the coverage isn't terrible. I mean, I'd say it was light to start with and it built up to about a medium. So yeah, coverage is, I would say, light, buildable to medium. I don't know if I necessarily want to go in with like a 3rd layer. Maybe I'll do that just on my cheeks just to try and get rid of that little bit of redness. And worst case, I'll just go in with concealer. So I'm just going to take... Also, I will say, I feel like I'm using a ton of product. Like, I've used, this is my 5th pump now, which normally, with most of my other foundations, I'd be able to use 1 and get, like, a pretty good base. And then sometimes when I'm more red or, like, I just need a little bit of extra coverage, if I go in with, like, a half a pump, then I'm good to go. So, like, so far I've used 5 pumps. Well, this will be my 5th. So hopefully 5 pumps will get the job done. Okay, so that built up and gave me pretty decent coverage. I still would not... Oh, how'd that happen? You guys, I'm making a mess over here. What is wrong with me today? So that built up pretty well. I will say that, like, my texture, I don't really have texture, but my pores are so visible. I don't really have many issues with pores, but like this is for sure making them stand out. I will zoom in a little bit so you can see. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to concealer. Today I'm just going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 15 Fair, and I'll end up doing like a really big upside down triangle just to try and cover up a little bit of this redness that the foundation didn't get. Like I said earlier, I still like the finish, but I don't like how much I can see my texture like in this area. I mean, the shade doesn't match perfectly. I think it is starting to oxidize a little bit because it's starting to look a little bit more orangey. So we'll see how that goes. And I don't love the coverage, so like, so far it's nice, but I don't love it. So we shall see. I'm starting to get like to the end of this. Like I have to scrape the sides of the bottle, but because the VIB sale just happened, I ordered the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I think I mentioned in one of my last videos that I had got it in a shade that was too dark, so I just ordered it in the shade Fair. So I should be getting that soon. I got a shipping confirmation last night, so it should be here, I'm hoping tomorrow, and then I can film my haul and using some of my new stuff. Conceal, don't feel. Is that from like Frozen or something? Oh shit, I forgot to say what time it was. So it's 10:17 right now. I'm halfway through putting on my concealer, but I just realized I should say what time I finished putting the foundation on at. So we'll say like 10:15 just to make it like an even number. So yeah, then we know what time I put it on. Okay, so just finished concealer. It blended out pretty well on top. I mean, I use that concealer every day. It blends well on top of everything, basically, but definitely added the coverage I was looking for. So I like where we're at now. So I'm going to go ahead and set with a powder. For powder, I'm just going to stick with what I use every day. It still feels a little tacky. Like, it doesn't feel like it's fully set, and there is some transfer. I don't know if you can see because it is so light, but there was some transfer, so I am going to set it. One, to make sure that it doesn't like move around and that it's given the best chance that it can to stay on, but also so that when I go to blend other powders on top like bronzer and blush and everything, it doesn't like move around and it doesn't get patchy. It'll just kind of blend better. So for my under eye, I'm just going to use what I use every day. They're just in my little Z palette. It's the Anastasia Banana Powder and the MAC Pro Emphasize. Just mixing them together. Okay, and to set the rest of my face, I'm going to use the same powder that I use pretty much every day. It won't really change the finish. If anything, it's just like a super sheer powder, but it's not mattifying. It's not really illuminating either, so I think it'll kind of help with keeping the finish. And it is just the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light Plus. And recently, as of like this week, I started using this brush again. It's the Morphe E41. I was using this quite a bit in the summer. I don't know why I stopped, but just started using it again. It's huge, so you can powder in like 5 seconds. I'm just going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and I will be back for a check-in later. It is now 10:25, so maybe we'll just say 10:30. Anyways, I'll be back when I finish my makeup. Hey guys, so I just finished the rest of my makeup. It is now 11:05, and I did the finish at 10:25, so we'll say 40 minutes. That took a long time. Took a long time because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing with my face and what products I wanted to use. So it took me a little while to decide what products were going to work together. But anyways, if you want to see how I made this look, I did a tutorial and filmed it, so that should be up soon. So yeah, it's been about 40 minutes. Obviously, I would hope that it still looks good. Pretty much everything blended pretty well. I did find the bronzer, I had to like really work with it to get it to blend, but sometimes that just happens, and with like a dewy foundation, they don't completely set, so that's kind of to be expected. But anyways, I will check in with you guys later throughout the day and just let you know how it's wearing, what it looks like. Hey guys, I am back. It is now 3:38, so I finished around 10:30, so it's been about 5 hours. I just finished doing a lip swatch video, so around my mouth is a little weird because I went in with concealer a couple times, and then like when I finally finished, I put on a little bit of the foundation and like blended it out, but it all blended out on top of each other well. I definitely for sure still have like a good glow going. It's faded away a little bit down here. I am someone who like is constantly resting my hand here if I'm like sitting down at a desk or a table, which I have been doing. So it has faded a little bit down there, and not as much on this side, mostly just that side, and a little bit around my nose. I've had a little bit of a runny nose today, so it's faded a little bit around there and on like the tip of my nose, but other than that, it's a little bit melty in the crease of my like nostril over there on both sides, which I find happens a lot with like more dewy glowy foundations. For whatever reason, they tend to like get melty in around my nose. But other than that, I think it's looking pretty good. I don't absolutely love it. It's not like reinventing the wheel for me, but it's a nice foundation. It's I definitely have a good glow, which is good. So yeah, I'll probably check in once again later tonight, probably around 7 or something, or maybe just before I go to bed. Who the hell knows? Anyways, I will check back in with you later. And here's just a close-up. Hey guys, so I'm back for my final check-in tonight. It is now 7:02, so I've had this foundation on for 8.5 hours. I'm just getting ready to like chill for the night. I just finished eating dinner and I'm going to just like chill, watch some TV, probably take my makeup off, maybe put on a face mask. So I thought I would give you my final thoughts now. My foundation hasn't really changed much. It's still, obviously I didn't touch it up, so like around my nose it has worn off even more. As you can see, like this area here, there's a lot of redness coming through. Like I said earlier, I've been having a runny nose, so that obviously doesn't help. Fine. I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, I don't think it's awesome. I'm not like in love or amazed by it, and I'm not, it's not like, oh my god, holy grail by any means, but it's nice. It's a good drugstore foundation. It's not something that I'm like wowed or amazed by, but it's not terrible. I would use it again. I don't know if I would repurchase it. I think I'll have to use it a few more times and see how it wears with other products, you know, other primers and just general other looks, see, you know, what it's like in different elements, because for the most part I was just at home today. I went out to do some errands, but other than that, you know, like I didn't go to the gym yet, and I haven't like been sweating. I didn't do a lot of walking, so kind of just do a longer review on it. So maybe at some point, once I have a better opinion on it, I will kind of update you guys. But as of right now, my first impressions is it's fine. It's not great or fantastic, but it's not terrible. It's just like meh. So yeah, that is my final thoughts. Okay guys, so that completes this video. If you want to see more foundation first impressions, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe either right here. If you're on a computer, you can click on my little face, or if you are on your phone or tablet, you can just scroll down and click the subscribe button. If you want to see more, please be sure to leave me a comment requesting certain foundations you would like to see. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
I'm like cuckoo today.